Now from central Georgia, the former president headed north towards Atlanta. Here's a look from the sky around 3:30 p.m. today of the motorcade headed towards the state capitol. As you can see, many people across the state stopped on bridges and overpasses to honor the life of the former president. Now, when the motorcade finally arrived in Atlanta, it stopped for a moment of silence to honor President Carter's service as governor and as state senator. Jimmy Carter's eldest son, Jack, met with Governor Brian Kemp, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, State House Speaker John Burns, and Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens before joining a larger group in a moment of silence. While we haven't heard from Atlanta leaders yet, nearby Atlanta resident Ian Hamilton says Carter's work as a humanitarian resonates with him the most.
I just see his legacy living on through all of us, especially in terms of, what he was able to accomplish through peace, through global health, and just being a role model citizen.
The motorcade then went on to the Carter Center. The late president's casket was brought inside the center for a private ceremony. There, family, friends, and dignitaries filled the Carter Presidential Center to honor former President Jimmy Carter. And it begun with loving words from the people closest to Carter, including his son, Chip.
He was an amazing man, and he was held up and propped up and soothed by an amazing woman. And the two of them together changed the world.
Now, following the ceremony around 7 o'clock, folks from around the nation were allowed for the first time to pay their respects in person as Carter lies in repose. Now here's another live look at the Carter Center where people are paying their respects right now. You can see the casket sitting there. Earlier today, flowers, peanuts, and candles could be seen outside the Carter Center's front sign. Those thoughtful gestures have continued inside the center. Some Georgians even lined the streets to get inside and shared their memories of Mr. Carter.
He shook everybody's hand all the way down the plane, even the people he didn't know.
He was a big factor in my life and was a proponent to help having me make friends all over the world and learn that we're all alike.
I really admire his love story and his love for his country.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, Carter will lie in repose until 6 a.m. on January the 7th. And now that the day's funeral services have wrapped up, we can take a look forward at the events happening in the week ahead. On Tuesday, the funeral procession will leave the Carter Center and travel to Washington, D.C. Military bearers will carry his casket to the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. And on Thursday, January 9th, he will have a brief ceremony and funeral at the Washington National Cathedral. After, he will come back to Plains for a private funeral service at Maranatha Baptist Church, where Mr. Carter taught Sunday school. And then one last motorcade will drive through Plains to the Carter home, where the president will be buried next to his wife, Rosalind. The community is invited to line up along the route.